Okay, so this is going to be the Butcher on heroic mode. This fight is gonna be a DPS check. He has a 5-minute enrage timer, and through the many attempts I've done this, I think the sweet spot for DPS is that everyone needs to be pulling at least about 19k DPS, or you're gonna get killed by the enrage timer. For this fight, unfortunately, we weren't able to down him. Our best attempt was at about 300k health. We just were lacking a little bit on the DPS side. So this is pretty much the same as normal mode, except damage is more. For this fight, you probably want to have more DPS than healers. So here we had about 5 healers, yeah, 5 healers, and let's see, about 22, 23 people. So we might want to drop that down to about 1 healer for every 5 people. So for this fight, we should have probably brought a few more DPS, because the 1 extra healer is kind of detrimental, I guess. So the way we did this fight is that we had 2 groups of melee, or 2 groups of melee slash ranged, and then each group took 2 stacks of the cleave. That way no one group gets extremely low in danger of dying. So you probably want to have as many people eating the cleave as you can, although people say that the dot will do way more damage than the cleave does. That's not true. Looking over at the logs, I saw that with a group of 5 people in the cleave group, each cleave group, cleave was doing a total of 4x more damage than the dots were doing. So I think that you probably want to spread out that cleave damage a little more, because the burst might be a problem, especially when he enrages. But you can experiment with your group settings and how you want to do this. For this fight, we also did 2 stacks before we switched. That gives you just enough time for the stacks to fall off before the next group takes it. So in another group that I went with, we went up to as high as 4 stacks of cleave, but that required people using all their personal cooldowns every time. For paladins, you have to glyph divine protection. So yeah, so this fight is gonna be pretty much a pretty big DPS check. 19k is what I think that everyone needs to pull for you to kill this boss. And then of course you want to save Bloodlust for after 30%. He also does the charge ability once a minute, so you don't want to Bloodlust before he does the charge. You want to wait until he gets to 30%, wait until he charges, and then Bloodlust. You want to maximize the Bloodlust damage as much as you can. So depending on how your DPS goes, his charge might come way before he hits 30%, or just a little bit before he hits 30%, so you'll have to adjust it accordingly. But he does the charge basically once every minute, so you can plan accordingly, plan your cooldowns accordingly too. If you have like a 2-minute cooldown, use it at the very beginning, use it at 2 minutes, and use it at 4 minutes, because unless you have really high DPS, this boss is pretty much gonna do a lot of damage to you, and you're probably gonna need the entire 5 minutes. So for this fight, we just hit the enrage timer every single time, or we were very close to the enrage timer.
Okay, your stack didn't fall. What the fuck? I'm at 3.
Okay, so here he's getting low, 4% health, 3 million HP. We've got a couple of people dead. If we didn't have those people die, then we probably would have gotten this attempt. But yeah, but healing gets really rough near the end, so You need to coordinate your cooldowns. You don't want to blow them all at the same time. So 1 million HP, we thought we had this. 600k, and then basically everyone dies.
Dude, fuck this game.
Fuck.
Fuck this game.